Good morning, everyone. Welcome back to the channel. Today I am having a little friendly competition with some of my family members. We are out on the home lake looking to see who can catch the biggest bass. I'm on my kayak and a few of them are on a boat. So we are just gonna go out and try to have fun and see if we can't get a fairly large spot, or even, if we're lucky, a largemouth. But yeah, I've had a pretty slow start to the day. I woke up on time fairly early, but completely forgot my drive. I had to call my dad to bring my drive to the lake, but thankfully I don't live too far from the lake, so not too big of a deal. But yeah, come along. Hopefully I can find some fish. If not any big fish, at least maybe run into a school or two. And I'll catch you guys once I get to the first spot. Yeah, guys, like what I said, super chaotic start to my morning. I woke up on time. It wasn't like I was late or anything. I had everything pre-packed yesterday. I thought I had everything, right? Turns out, completely forgot my pedal drive, so all I had was my paddle. That's not gonna work out, so inconvenient, very inconvenient. I'm just fishing a little secondary point leading up to a cove, and there's some rocks right here. Finally got my replacement battery. It's gonna be nice being able to actually see, you know, what's under the water and stuff like that. But yeah, there's a lot of rocks right along here. And I just want to say thank you guys for following along the journey. It's a little fishing journey of mine. Hopefully you guys are learning. Oh my gosh, my voice cracked. Hopefully you guys are learning a thing or two, or just enjoying the content. I wouldn't say like I'm some sort of bass angling professional pro, but I do know a thing or two about bass fishing. My hope is to hopefully be able to teach some of you just like a thing or two. There's some nice rocks right here to my right, 60 feet right there. I know that there's gonna be fish on there, so I'm gonna back off. Oh man, you guys could just see all that rock right there. That's about 60, 80 feet to my right. I'm gonna come over here so I can cast down there and drag this upwards, this jig. While I was waiting for him to bring me my drive, I was actually just fishing kind of outside of the launch, and really the first point that leads out of the launch, and caught about two. Got two. I did get a bite on my flutter spoon. That was kind of cool, but I didn't hook up. I don't want to lose any of my flutter spoons. I have it rigged with just one of the stock hook. I don't have a trailer hook on it. Usually if I'm comfortable in the area, you know, I know that it's not too sticky out there, I'll throw my flutter spoon right there with the trailer, but there's a lot of rocks in this area. There's literally some bait right under me. So much bait right here. Alright, well, we are around fish. Just not the right size. Let's just let you play in the water real quick. Jeez, I can't get this damn hook out of you. Water is super clean back here. So there's a creek that runs through right here, and there's a lot of good rocks. And hoping that there's some bass staged up on this rock, because everywhere else is pretty much just red soil and, you know, chunk rock here and there, but there's not much hard bottom anywhere else. Usually you find one bass, you find others, but that was pretty random. All right, I think I found some fish finally. There's this long, shallow tapering point right here. One side of it is basically a drop off. The other side is fairly shallow. And I've gotten bit twice now, so might be some fish right here. Man, it's been freaking tough, guys. It's been very difficult finding fish. Yeah, see, so. But those are really big marks. I don't think that that's actually bass. So now there's some fish under me. Yeah, these are definitely bass. I could tell these are bass. Very small marks. All right, so there's definitely bass here. Dude, these are bass. Okay, so these little marks are definitely bass right here. I can tell, right? So you can't really tell right here. Obviously, you know it's fish, but how I can tell them apart from bass and carp is these small little dots. Carp, it's gonna, you'll see like really thick defined white dots. That's on down imaging. So that's how I know that these are bass. Oops. If I catch one more, I'm gonna be throwing the flutter spoon. These fish are suspended, chasing bait. A lot of small fish right here. So these are definitely bass. Throwing up a little bait. You know, right now, I don't mind catching these little rats because it's been a grind and a struggle all morning. Cast it out there and then you just let it fall down on semi-loose line with the bail open. Fish right under me too. Really. Should catch him right here. Oh, this is a better fish. Oh my God. Dude, there was another fish that came up after him. Dude, there's so much fish right here. Alright, we'll just let him go. I'm not gonna measure that guy. That guy's 14 inches, 13 or 14 inches. We're not gonna measure him. Just gonna get back out there. There was another one chasing him though. That was crazy. They're definitely moving though. It's not like I scanned them and then they're, you know, still there. Thing is, I don't think there's giant bait balls. I think it's just okay, so fish right there. They're not really stationary. They're actually roaming around, feeding. Let's see if I can mark any over here. Oh my gosh, there's bait right there. Bait right there. There's a fish literally right under the... Oh my God. Dude, they're right here. I wouldn't add them just because. Really small guy. Like, I lifted up on my rod and that little fish was already on. This is why it pays to have electronics on the water. There's fish everywhere right here, dude. Dude, I caught a big fish. Yeah, let's go. God damn. My God. Oh, yeah. Hell yeah. I'm gonna be quiet. I'm not gonna talk too loud. Gosh. $17.25 right here on the drop shot. Oh my God. Let's go. Big fish. Nice. Hell yeah. Like how do I beat a 17.25 fish? You catch an 18, right? There's so many fish right here. These streaks are very skinny and it's only two-tone. So there's blue on the outside or the purple and then the red on the inside. When it shows 3 colors, that's when I know that it's a bigger fish, which most likely would be a carp, but they only want to grab that. They only want the drop shot. They only want the drop shot, dude. These are all bad. Out of all the spots that I could have found fish, I found them in the area that has the most water activity from pleasure boaters and just people out on the water having fun and stuff. Like, what are the odds? Oh, that was cool. Oh my gosh, this is a fish too. Gosh, he's not a giant fish, but one of the better ones than the ones I've been catching. I mean, just like nipping at it, or like I'll lift up and then my rod's just kind of heavy. Let's just measure him just to see. This guy's 15.25. 15.25. Nice one. Cool. That's gonna wrap up my trip out on the home lake. Surprisingly, did better than I had anticipated. This trip was actually 2 days later after the previous video, and as you guys can tell, it was pretty tough. I did struggle on that day, and going into today's trip, I was under the impression that it was gonna have to be a grind, or I was gonna have to grind through the whole day to find, you know, a decent bite. And it did actually start off like that. Almost 3 hours in, I couldn't even catch any fish. Luckily came across that tapering point and just graphed over it. And there was surprisingly some fish on there staging and just constantly moving in. Here and there, I noticed I would scan a fish or multiple fish and then they would just disappear. So that kind of told me that, you know, they're just on the move. They're not stationary, just waiting for bait. Seems like to me like they were hunting bait, or just either that or just chasing bait. Big difference from the previous trip to this trip is that, yes, I did have my unit, so I didn't feel as blind. I was able to save a little bit more time by eliminating water that didn't really have any fish or didn't have nice structure on it. I did scan a lot more fish on that second point, but I was in the time of day where, you know, like the bite had shut off. At this time it was around 11. In my experience, I don't really do well when the sun is at its highest point. Unfortunately, I wasn't able to power fish any fish at all today, not even a single fish. Everything came off of, or well, I was able to catch one on a Kitech, but besides that one fish, everything came off the drop shot. I threw a Carolina rig with a brush hog. I threw deep crankbaits, top water, square bills, football head jigs. They didn't want anything to do with any of those baits. The only thing I was able to get bit on was, again, that drop shot. Ended up winning that little family tournament that we were having. We did have a little money on the line. I wasn't too sure if they were serious about it, but I guess we were, so yeah, I won a little bit of money and mainly just kind of bragging rights. But hope you guys enjoyed the video. Be sure to stay tuned for the next one. I have something planned, something special planned for this next trip, and hopefully it pans out like how I want it to. But yeah, till then, I will catch you guys next time. Peace.